Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Rolene Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel every Monday to Thursday. If you are viewing us on Facebook, please like us, share us, and get your friends to follow as well. If you are viewing us on YouTube, don't forget to click on that big red subscribe button. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at the top stories making headlines, and we're going to keep it strictly to this region. No talk shows, interviews, or subsequent fallout on this very show. So let's start talking about Iran. And according to UN watchdog, the IAEA, Iran has been enriching more uranium at the IR2M centrifuge. This is in the Natan underground plant. They are in breach of the 2015 nuclear contract, which puts restrictions on just how much they can enrich. Now, Iran has accelerated their breaking of these restrictions in the last couple of months. Perhaps it is because they are taking advantage of the change in administrations in the United States. The Biden administration does have a different approach to the nuclear deal. They are saying that they would prefer to re-enter into direct talks with the Iranians, but not before speaking to allies in the region, which of course includes Israel. From Israel's perspective, we have said that we will not allow Iran to get a nuke. And Iran has tested our patience over the last couple of years by trying to encroach on Israeli sovereignty, either through Syria or through its proxies in the north and the south. Meanwhile, the Americans, EU countries, and the UN are scrambling to try and see what they can do about the 2015 nuclear deal and try and get Iran under compliance once again. In other news, the IDF have shot 2 Palestinians allegedly for firebombing cars. Their injuries are moderate and light. And yesterday, the IDF stopped 2 potential terror attacks, one against a civilian and the other against a soldier. And it wouldn't be an Israel brief without taking a look at the latest developments around the COVID-19 pandemic in Israel. And there's been quite a lot, but it seems to be all positive. Israel has said that we will review and perhaps restart vaccination diplomacy. What does this mean? This means providing friendly countries with vaccines. Also, yesterday, Israel started vaccinating over 120,000 legal Palestinian workers who come into the country for their employment. So we're getting that underway as well. It also has been confirmed that the leaders of Hungary and the Czech Republic will be meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu pretty soon to discuss how to navigate the pandemic and some of the strategies that Israel has been employing. This follows Austria and Denmark leaders who were in the country last week and have entered into a mutual agreement with Israel to produce vaccines. Hadassah Hospital also announced that they would be furloughing 80 employees who have not been vaccinated. The health ministry has been quite strict about the access to patients that any healthcare professionals may have if they have not been vaccinated. And El Al have said that they will be testing or pilot testing rather, pun intended, a rapid COVID testing kit. This is before people embark on airlines. I know that many countries, many airlines are quite keen to open the skies and hoping to get travel and tourism working again. So let's watch this one. Let's see if we can report on some very, very positive results coming from El Al. I think we're all having a little bit of cabin fever again, pun intended, and want to start our travels soon. So these are the top stories making headlines from Israel. Don't forget that you can check out our original content online at www.layoftheland.online. Yesterday was Women's Day, but you can read all about how women are making their mark at the IDC and are starting to enter and study more computer science. It's also up on our Facebook page at Lottle Site. Like us, follow us, share our content. We love it when you do. We're also on Twitter. You can interact with us at Lay of the Land 5. That's at Lay of the Land 5. And don't forget that YouTube channel. All you have to do is click on the red subscribe button. So with the Tuesday edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Rolene Marks, and we'll chat again tomorrow.